Now, teenagers are always impressed by a flash set of wheels, but American exchange student Kevin Connelly had heads turning in Christchurch with his set of wheels.
Kevin's wheelchair's been pretty much parked in his bedroom since he discovered that skateboarding was much faster and a whole lot more fun.
He's a film student, so we helped him record his own story.
Hi, I'm Kevin Connelly. As you can see, I don't have any legs, and I'm also a film student. That's why I'm wearing this strange camera. And the nice people at Attitude have let me kind of direct the segment and take hold of a cameraman, that's Brian, and some sound people, and we're going to go through the process of my day. First step though, brushing teeth.
This is some of the gear that I'm going to use to get around town. First off, these ugly looking things are the gloves that I use to make sure that my hands don't turn into bloody little nubs at the end of the day. Skating through town, it's quite rough, and these are essentially my shoes. Also, this thing is my bigger shoe that fits on my lower torso, my butt. That is pretty much what I live and die by. That is kind of the wheelchair, but we don't use it a whole lot. Let me turn this guy on. Oh, you devil. Cool.
This is going to come up nice and high around your waist.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So pull it up if you can. That's it.
No worries. Cool. Well, we're here at the rock climbing wall. Originally, I'd asked the producers if we could go skiing, and then that's too far away from Christchurch, and then if we could go surfing, but that gets sand in the camera, so that's bad. So we're at the rock climbing wall right now inside where it's safe and no one's going to get hurt, hopefully. Yeah. So let's go for it, I guess.
Nice, pull it whenever you're...
Oh, what? Aww.
And there we are.
We're trained.
You ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right. So at this point, you're probably a little curious. Was it a shark attack? Was it a mining incident? Anything to that effect? No, I was born without legs. Yeah, no crazy real story. I was pretty much born like this. It was called a sporadic birth defect, which essentially amounts to the doctors looking at me and going, I don't know what happened to him. I was totally healthy when I was born. The doctors didn't quite understand why that was, so they tried to keep me in the hospital for a while until my mom kind of broke me out after about half a week of that sort of nonsense and brought me back to Montana. And so I was grew up as a country bumpkin, running around outside and being a kid. And then when I was 10, started skiing. Shortly thereafter, kind of picked up rock climbing and ice climbing and all of those things. The trick, it kind of seems, is for trying to do any sports without legs is that you kind of have to make things up as you go. Apparently there's the whole joke about baling wire for number 10 baling wire, number 8 baling wire for New Zealanders to fix anything. Well, I kind of live and die by my duct tape and ball bearings. And so that's more or less just, yeah, if it doesn't work, you just put enough duct tape on it or staples until you stick in something. So I didn't have any of my skiing gear here and just basically hopped in another mono ski and duct taped myself, into the bucket and went for it.
no other way. Because I've become quite a connoisseur of how to wear through pants.
Yeah.
They seem to last longer, and then the best part about pants for me is I can just wait until someone else wears out the knees, right? And then pair of pants, just sew up the bottom. They make great. Yeah, and then for Christmas you can send them to other people and make great handbags and Rastafarian hats. Fantastic. In the grand scheme of things, I'm kind of a new guy at this whole process, and so, really coming to New Zealand was my first time trying to explore how the whole skateboarding thing worked, especially in relation to travel. And now, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any real purpose for a wheelchair. It's not nearly as much fun. Skateboarding even is too much of an activity. It's just simply a really utilitarian way to get around. It makes a lot of sense. It's quite easy, it's quite quick. No one is ever going to tell a no-legged man that he can't use a skateboard, even if he's going at high speeds through a grocery store, through the fruit aisle, knocking over oranges. I mean, you pretty much have free run of public venues, which is quite cool, and I think a lot of skateboarders would probably kill for. Traveling around New Zealand has been really interesting, especially in comparison to the States. People are kind of give themselves a lot more permission to ask questions and kind of come up and go, why the hell are you on a board? Everybody's human. Some days you're just not in the mood for it, and I mean, that's why it's quite nice where you get just going fast so no one can stop and talk to you. And so yeah, I did a bit of hitchhiking around in April and August, and you just end up, you know, when you're on a board skating and without legs, a short guy, you get kind of this automatic credibility. You're not immediately an American tourist, which I am. You're kind of just this interesting gimmick that a lot of people kind of want to find out more about. And so you end up in kind of some interesting situations. I stayed with Mrs. New Zealand for about a week up in Northland and ended up living in a treehouse for a while, and I have about a month left, unfortunately, in New Zealand, and then I'm taking off to Europe to kind of go be a bum on a skateboard and kind of do a world skateboard tour before I get back to the States. Is it on? All right, so we're finished. This is, my 8 minutes are up apparently. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the day. I hope it wasn't too terribly painful. I've never done one of these things before. But yeah, now you know a little bit more about me, for better or worse, I guess. So, I'll see you later.
You have to...
It's just like, what's your producer gonna think about some of this?